Hi guys, it's ASBYT and welcome back to a brand new video. We have another review today, but today is one of the strangest ones we've done so far. Not strange as in the product, but strange as in the price. Because we have a smartphone for you which has almost a dual curved edge display. It has a dual camera, it's Android 7, and it's under £50. Is this too good to be true? Is this quite possibly one of the greatest phones ever made for that budget? Well, today we're going to find out. Recently I have done quite a lot of reviews on different smartphones. Now usually smartphones by themselves are pretty expensive. I have been trying to, knowing you guys and knowing what you are interested in, generally saving money, which of course we're all interested in doing, which is why I think you're going to be interested in today's phone, because it is by far, in my opinion, one of the cheapest phones you will ever get for something that actually, it kind of works. And look how nice that looks. It's gold. So that's right, this review today is going to be an unboxing and my first impressions review of the AllCall Rio 3G, I believe is the name. So we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk exactly what's good about it, we're also going to talk about what's bad about it. One of the main reasons why it's so good is of course £50. I mean, who doesn't want a smartphone for under £50? And then we're going to run some benchmark tests as well. So we're going to do a Geekbench and a Antutu benchmark test as well, just to give you an idea of roughly where it scores with other phones that I've done reviews on as well, which I'll leave linked in a playlist which you can go to. Of course, if you are interested in purchasing this under £50 beaut, obviously the link will be left below, so you can go down and actually take a look from the website to see any more information you require, and of course where you can buy it from if you do. Make sure you hit that like button for me and share it with your friends and family if they want a phone that's under £50. Subscribe and hit that little notification bell if you're new to the channel and want to be notified every time I upload a video. So let's see what's inside this box. Okay, so this is the actual box, and as you can see on the front it just says Rio, and it says break border, enjoy dual vision experience, which is of course talking about the actual dual camera, which amazingly this phone actually has, considering it's under £50 like I said. So we're just going to slide that off. So on the back, as you can see, just a bit of information. You've got the name, it's got MTK6580A, 4-core A7, 1.3 GHz, and that is of course the CPU. You've also got Android 7.0, which again, for something so cheap, to have the latest near enough the latest operating system is very, very good. 1GB of RAM and 16GB of ROM. Now, of course, having 1GB of RAM could be an issue with multitasking on this phone. Don't expect it to be, ridiculously snappy. You've got 2 nano card or 1 nano card and 1 TF card. Battery is 2,700 milliamps, so it's not a massive battery, so it's acceptable, but you probably will need to charge it more than once during a day. And the screen is 5-inch, 1280 by 720, so it is HD. It's not full HD, but of course it is still, a respectable screen for the price. The camera is a 8 megapixel and 2 megapixel dual on the back, and of course a front-facing 2 megapixel camera, so I'm pretty sure that those selfies are going to be slightly grainy to say the least, but again, something we'll test in a second. Bluetooth 4.0. The networks it's actually compatible with is GSM 850, 900, 1800 and 1900. WCDMA as well is 900 and 2100 MHz. Now, of course, it is a 3G phone, so if you're looking for 4G, you're not going to get it on this phone. But again, it still means you can access the internet when you're out and about, just not 4G, obviously. Right, so that's enough of the actual box. Now, let's open it up, and straight away, you've got it packaged in this plastic bag. We take that off. Okay, so this is the phone, and as you can see here, I'm going to peel some of the stickers off and stuff in a second, but I'm excited to show you exactly what we're looking at straight from the box. So as you can see here, I don't know whether it's going to focus nicely for you, but you've actually got here, as you can see, a slight edge display. So it's it's not going to be like your Samsung S8, for example, or even the S7s, which have the full-on edge display. It's not quite that drastic. It's only a tiny little lip there, but it is nevertheless slightly curved. So again, for £50, I think that's pretty impressive. On the back, you have another curve, which is slightly more of a curve, and it is actually quite comfortable in the hand. As you can see, you know, it does fit really nicely in terms of the size. I've got small hands, I've said that before, for a guy anyway. I mean, they are pretty womanly. But it's of course got, you know, it fits in my hand very, very well. If you've got big hands, it's going to feel probably fairly small in your hands. But of course, the 5-inch display is, you know, not a small display either. And it is quite heavy in the hand as well. Just again, something to think about. It does feel more premium than I was expecting. For £50, I was expecting it to feel very plasticky, you know, very lightweight and almost breakable in the hand. But this feels really, really rigid and solid. I'm just going to peel this off as well, and I'm also going to peel off the back as well. There we go. And straight away, as you can see, it's a really nice looking phone. I mean, it's dual camera, like we said, it's nice and flat. No actual lift on the camera. You've got like a soft gold colour to it, which is pretty nice, pretty, you know, premium looking. You've got the logo there. You've also got a bit of, you know, information at the bottom. You've got your dual speakers there. Well, so they lead you to believe. I very much doubt it's going to be dual speakered, but of course, aesthetics-wise, it looks really good. Then on the top, you've got your headphone jack. So it does have a headphone jack. A lot of people are really annoyed by most flagships now dropping the headphone jack. You have that here. And of course, you have the charging port here, which is micro USB. It's not Type-C, unfortunately. But again, for under £50, you can't really complain about that. And of course, you've got your flash there for the camera on the back as well. SIM card tray here. Like I said, it's got a dual slot as well. Okay, so also in the box, you get your manual, of course, which comes with most products these days. Well, every product really. You've got your little SIM ejector tool there. Of course, you've got your charger, which obviously you need an adapter if you're from the UK. And of course, you have your charging cable, which is micro USB. Now, there's nothing. Oh, I didn't even see that. Look at that bad boy. Wow. A glaring greeny, yellowy, goldy thing. Doesn't help that I'm colorblind, does it? But that will basically go on there like that. As you can see, you've got little cutouts that clip closed for the ports to stop dust and things like that. And it's a nice little silicone case, which again, for under £50, they even give you a case, and there's also a screen protector on the actual phone already. So, right, so you've seen what the actual phone looks like, and the material is glass on the front, and it sounds plasticky. On the actual back, but you've got a ridge of it's definitely metal round here, so that is you know, again, for the price I was expecting it to be plastic all over, to be honest, but it does feel pretty heavy in the hand due to that metal around the outside. The antenna lines as well are pretty stylishly done across the top, much like you'd see on an iPhone or something like that. So again, nothing too garish there. Okay, so here we are on the screen. So as you can see, it is running a stock Android 7, you know, it's pretty standard for what you'd expect from an Android phone. There's no real launcher on it as far as I can see. And you obviously have the normal Android 7, you know, settings tab coming down from the top. You've got onboard software buttons, so these two, nothing happens either side of there, which would have been nice, but again, due to the price, I can see why they didn't do it. So you've got your recent apps there, you've got your home button, which you can also use there, and you've got your back button there. Now, you don't have a fingerprint sensor on here. It is just a home button, which is pressable. A lot of the flagships now aren't pressable. This one is, and of course, you'd set up a password or a pattern if you're bothered about security. It is just a little bit laggy going between the screens. Nothing too drastically bad, but of course, you know, if you want things to just work every time, you're not going to get on with this phone. Surprised about the Wi-Fi as well, in terms of the actual Wi-Fi signal. Even in areas of the house that I usually get fairly low signal with my OnePlus 5, for example, it's pretty similar to that. It's not. I was expecting it to drop out really badly when moving away from the router, but it does drop out, but not as bad as I was expecting. Okay, so we're going to jump onto the camera now. Now, the camera is obviously where generally you're going to get let down with, you know, budget devices. Of course, like I mentioned, it's got a dual camera, 8 megapixel and a 2 megapixel. You can obviously use the blur, for example, which I'll try and do on this box to see if I get that sort of effect. And actually, as you can see there, it has blurred the background. So again, better than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be really garish. Obviously, the autofocus is not as good as I was expecting, and it is pretty grainy in low light situations. And you have to, you have to constantly tap the screen to get it to refocus, kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm actually now, I've got the selfie camera, and I'm actually looking at it now, and I'm not going to lie, it's fairly grainy. You're not going to get the best pictures, again, for under £50, what are you expecting in terms of performance with a camera? It's going to take photos, it's not going to be amazing, it is going to be grainy and low light, pretty grainy, it's possibly one of the worst cameras I've used on a smartphone recently, but again, I've never bought a smartphone for under £50. And again, for under £50, you wouldn't even probably get a decent camera on its own, let alone a smartphone and a camera. So I am just actually running a Antutu benchmark test, and I'll also show you the Geekbench scores as well, so you get an idea of how actually this smartphone performs. Okay, so the test has finished, and as you can see, the Antutu score is 22,585. So it is pretty low for a device in general. It still will do minimal tasks, but you will start to get problems with gaming and even high-powered streaming as well. Because it's not a very good score. I'm now just going to also jump onto the. So as you can see, I'm getting a few little glitches when I'm pressing the home button and things like that. It doesn't, load automatically straight away with certain things. And actually touching the screen as well, you have to press it sometimes slightly harder than you would normally use on a normal phone, or at least a flagship phone, because the screen, it's not quite as responsive. So I'm now going to jump onto the Geekbench app as well, and I'm going to run that benchmark as well, just so that you can get an idea of how it performs. Okay, so as you can see there, the score is 700. I'm reading it backwards, that's why. A backward 7. 377 on the single core and 1051 on the multi-core as well. So it is what it is. It's not a great performing phone, but for the price, it still does things, which is pretty good. It still does things. So in terms of benchmark scores, they are pretty low, I'm not going to lie. With 1 GB of RAM on a smartphone, you're not going to get the best score straight away. But to be honest, I'm pretty impressed that it can even run Android 7 in itself, and for you to be able to actually do benchmark scores without the whole thing exploding, which happened with another well-known phone recently, which cost a lot more. Them scores, it is what it is. You aren't going to get, if you want a really, really good, powerful phone, don't spend £50. You're going to have to up your budget. You're going to have to, if you want a budget, really flagship phone, you're going to have to start looking at things like the OnePlus 5, which I've done a review on here. The Xiaomi Mi 6 as well, which again, I have reviewed here. There are numerous phones that will be coming out in the near future. Doogie Mix I did a review on as well, which is a bezel-less phone. I've got another bezel-less phone coming as well, but I'll leave the link to all them videos, like I said here, so you can go through and check them out if you want to. Like I said before, for the price, it's a smartphone, and at the end of the day, I was basically expecting a fake plastic thing that could possibly ring somebody once and then break. It does miles more than that. So it was better than I was expecting. So that was my review of the AllCall Rio 3G phone. Of course, there are many good points to it. There are also some negatives to the phone for obvious reasons as well. I mean, it's not going to be your Samsung S8. It's not going to be LG G6. It's not going to be, your OnePlus 5s, because it's £50. Like, if you want that, you're going to have to pay it probably 10 times the amount. But of course, in conclusion, I think this is an amazing product if you are one of these people who doesn't really use a phone at the moment, but are interested in it, but don't have any budget whatsoever, and just want literally something you can still use as a phone and text messages, but also you can kind of get into that smart world as well. It's definitely worth thinking about, and like I said, if you are interested, the link will be left below where you can go and purchase it if you so wish. Comes in 3 colours, gold, black, and that's it, gold and black, so it's not 3. Pink, No. As always, guys, question of the day. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this product, whether, you know, for the price, whether you think this is worth actually purchasing. Also, let me know if there are other phones of a similar price that you think potentially might be better, or just an alternative to this. Let me know in the comment section below. I can always try and get my hands on that as well. Like and share if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to be, you know, notified every time I post a video. And I'll see you in the next one. It's ASBYT. Peace out. Hi guys, it's ASBYT and welcome back to a brand new video. In case you're wondering what that is, just a little pop filter there I've just got. So, good start. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're talking about apps for you to use in the month of September. We've got Android and iOS. So, majority Android, but we do have, like I said, a couple of iOS for you as well.